Welcome to the Drum Show podcast. And today it's Aurea back up in the corner, top left. And we've got a visitor, a new guest, Andrea.
Hey guys.
How do you pronounce your surname?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of R to be rolled. Rapisarda.
Oh, I can say Rapisarda.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. 10
Because I'm
points.
Spanish. Because I'm Spanish.
There you go. Exactly.
I can't roll my R's.
I can pronounce anything. And then I thought, oh, I can do that one. That's great.
That's it.
Rapisarda.
Rapis-
I can say it, but I can't roll my R's. I just never been able to do that. So
Usually when people ask me what's your full name, I'd go for the slightly more English version. I'll go Andrea Rapisarda, just to make it a little bit more clear, rather than Andrea Rapisarda, and just say it as, mum and dad basically told me. So yeah, it's a common thing, I guess.
it sounds a lot better when you say it the proper way. So whereabouts is that from?
I come from Sicily. It's a very common Sicilian name, south of Italy. I moved to London when I was 18. The goal was to chase after music and do 1-year diploma at the BIM University, West London University. And I got kicked right off because my English wasn't good enough. So they were like, okay, you're not going to be able to understand things properly. So come back in a year time. And that was good. It gave me a chance to get a little bit more comfortable with the language. I wasn't really when I got here. I was already playing, but communication and understanding wasn't quite there. And a year and a half later, when I went back to audition, they offered the degree course, the whole 3 years.
Yeah.
So was extremely happy with that. We went for 3 years, and since then, the rest is history, I guess.
Excellent.
Sounds amazing. People underestimate how hard it is for people like us that came from a different country with a second, not your first language and getting through things. And I do remember being very, very embarrassed about my English. It was many years ago. I came a bit later than you in my 20s, but yeah, so I understand. But, it all worked out. I think it gives you a bit of time to settle and to think things through and, to focus on other things. And it worked for me. So it sounds like it worked for you too.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Getting to a new place, getting comfortable with everything, even before being able to then be creative somehow. I personally need to find peaceful headspace before being able to actually do anything, whether on drums or anywhere else, music related or even not. So it's, as you said, it was definitely a blessing in disguise somehow. Take your time, get comfortable with everything, and yeah, it was really nice, and I'm very happy to have done that experience at uni as well. You get to meet so many cool people, and the whole idea of just going somewhere with a big bunch of drummers studying pretty much the same thing, you just feel
Wow.
part of something bigger. And that sense of community, funnily enough, is what inspired the music mission from the very beginning. The fact to have as many people as possible and find a way as simple as possible to make it approachable to everyone, regardless if you got experience, if you're not, if you're a child, if you're an adult, if you anything. It just doesn't matter. If we find a way to make music a bridge between you and your creativity, and to give you a little tools, a little bit of guidance to get together. And as you do that, you got some other people going through the same thing. That for me was magic. And I'm very happy that we kind of running a similar reality to that now.
Yeah. So just to step back a second. So you said music mission. Just to introduce you. So how would you describe yourself? Drummer, educator, where do you put yourself right now?
Right now, I'm definitely more of an educator than a performer. I still like to consider myself a musician. I found that especially in a place like London, you got to find some compromises and accept them. And we all have 7 days a week, right? And we first started Music Mission once again, which is a drumming school, if you will. We really had to put everything we had and more in it. And with that said, I had to kind of sacrifice a little bit more the the performance side of things, and maybe having a little bit less time when it came to be part of a new project coming up, or things like that. So definitely more of a drum teacher right now than a performer, but we're moving towards a new project as well. And the idea of jumping back on stage really excites me, and I'm looking forward to find a balance between them two, if that makes sense.
Yeah, excellent. So musicmission.co.uk is your website, and you offer drum lessons, obviously. And is that based only? Is that you go to schools? Do you go to primary schools or out to schools, or is it just in your base?
So Music Mission is divided into two section, really. One of them is a primary and secondary school. So we've got an amazing team of people helping us out, and we have this drum teachers going to primary and secondary schools. So we offer 1-on-1, 2-on-1, some group lessons. We've designed our own syllabus to help kids, especially going from zero to hero, if that makes sense. We've got a strong emphasis towards the end of term performance, for example. So we give something to look forward to the kids, to their friend to look at, for their parents to come and experience what's going on, and to the school itself to give a chance to really see what Music Mission is all about, and not just another drum teacher, as my business partner says, just an actual experience that will help you develop yourself as a child, regardless the music side of things. Sit up straight, make yourself proud of what you're doing, be absolutely excited about what you do, and do it 100%. Once again, music as a tool to just be a little bit more self-confident, and finally you see the kids, going from being shy and maybe, just sitting down a little bit, like in a closed way, and all of a sudden they open up and they look at you straight and like, I'm ready, Mr. Andrea. Yes, okay, come on, drums. I love that. To me, it's legacy. I still remember my drum teacher, the good ones and the slightly less good ones too. Back in the day, there was a different way of teaching as well, where I remember being strongly suggested, let's just say that, to be on the pad only for as long as it took before going back on drums. And this guy got me on the drum pad for 9 months straight without allowing me to go. I was 11.
I think that most people would quit. I mean, honestly, I have two kids. They both have taken drumming lessons as well. And honestly, 9 months on the pad.
Yeah.
Where is the encouragement for an 11-year-old?
You know what I mean? I'm extremely grateful to that now.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm 36. It took me a good, a good few years to understand why that was made. And but yeah, not to get lost. The first section of Music Mission is our teachers going to school with our syllabus, working towards the end of the term concert, and we do lots of events with those kids from different parts of London, and we get the best ones out of each and every school, and we got them together at the Yamaha store to perform for an audience. And that's something extremely rewarding, an experience that at 10 years old probably wouldn't even imagine of. And the fact that we can help making that happen is something that we're extremely proud of.
So before we started, actually, before you joined us, we were just talking about a situation where one of our kids, I'll just say it like that, one of our kids is struggling with motivation because of what you just said, really, with the connection with the teacher. Now, my boy has gone through, my boy is 19 now, be 20 next month. Wow. But he's in university. He did actually just recently leave university, only 6 months in, doing a drumming degree, because it wasn't working for him. So he's still in university, but he's moved over to audio production. Although he'll still with his drum, he's very much of his a drummer. But the issue that he's had throughout his teaching is connecting with a teacher.
Yeah.
And the personality element of it, like you were saying about how important that is. And I had a few lessons when I was young, and we're talking about the 80s. And the teacher was the classic, what you would draw as an old school teacher that wasn't particularly interested in being there and just told you to do this and didn't engage and didn't connect. And I think the connection is probably the best thing that you can do with someone, because if you can't connect, then nothing else is going to really work. So you connect, inspire and enthuse, if that's a word, and you then, once you've done that, then anything's pretty achievable. And with my son, when the teachers changed and they weren't right, we found the right ones. And what you were saying about, being more than just a teacher, and also learning an instrument, particularly drums, is more than just learning an instrument. It's about taking part in something. And you were saying about the kid that's shy and puts their head down. If they don't connect with or engage with school or whatever, they might go a different direction and fall off the radar and just not succeed in anything. So if music is a good way to bring them out, I think it's because that could then help them with everything, with maths, with English, with social skills and everything.
Exactly.
And I
Absolutely.
really underestimated that power, I think.
But I couldn't agree more. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more on when we talk about the studios, which is the second section of Music Mission. But in a term in school, we got 11 lessons. The first 2 weeks for new students, our teachers are required to learn about their personality and see what each and every one of them needs. Allow me the term. Some of them need a little bit of a cuddle. Some of them, they need a kick in their butt to move and get a little bit on top of things. If we don't understand that, and if we don't have that bond, and if we don't make them feel like we got them 100%, it doesn't matter if the result is not quite what we were expecting, but the fact that we're sitting down and we're trying and we actually looking at what we're doing, rather than, especially with very young students, it's very easy to lose focus, to lose concentration, and they might be playing, but they're just somewhere else. They're thinking about snack time or whatever that is. It is our responsibility to make that so exciting, and maybe, even visually, just be there, look for their gaze and be like, hey, I got you, sing it with me, 1 and 2, and stay with me. And if I manage to become the character that they cheer about when they see me coming in, or any other teacher, that's half job done. Then we created a bond, and after that we can start teaching. And as you just said, this is what we tell our teachers as well. It's not about drumming. 80% of our drummers, 7 years old, they don't even know if they want to be drummers, down the line. But that discipline of you work enough, you'll get somewhere. We jump on stage and it's not going to be scary anymore. You're going to win. You can win whatever you want. So wherever you set your mind, work for it, try yourself. Don't worry about not succeeding or fail, whatever, that I mean. We're not in that business. So I find it extremely important, and we try and talk within the team as much as possible about the importance of building that bond, and thanks to that, gain that trust, that slight admiration, because you want to show them what they could sound like in 6 months' time with that same pattern. Right, left, left, 6 months down the line, that's where we're going. So come with me, let me guide you, and step by step, let's get there. I absolutely love it again. And sometimes it's really hard to find people that are exactly on the same page, and they do their job with a certain level of passion, love, energy. I come from hospitality, okay? Just like every other Italian, when I moved to London, I had to go and serve a few tables to pay for the university and everything else. So I think that really helped a lot, because the way you relate to people, the way you accommodate everything, the way you welcome a client into your studio. It's not a drummer, it's a client right now. So get their coat off, be nice, try and understand what's going on, build a bond. We try and create a little profile for each and every client in order to know what to talk about the week after, and it's nice to like, hey, how is Paul? So what about baseball? Is that still happening? Oh my God, you remember? That's something a bit more customized, more tailored. And I think it's important. I think it's really important. You see these people every week. Might as well just have a good time and get to learn a little bit more about them and create a little connection. That happens a little bit more on the studio side of things. We run lessons in primary schools, and then we have a couple of studios in East London, Hackney Wick. And this is my personal project that I started about 3 years ago. And we're trying to bring as much of hospitality, as much of community, as much of good energy and passion to the studios, where people wants to have a slightly more focused approach, just a one-on-one, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, or whatever that is. And it's fascinating how some people bond with some teachers more than others. And so on our trial lesson, regardless who's running the trial lesson, I'm going to be there, introducing myself, sitting at the back, and because I absolutely love that. I want to see where we should place you, which teacher would be the best fit for you. And you do it for a few weeks, months, a year or so. At some point you start to get it right. Like, I think you'll be great with Alexa. You need that energy from Ricardo. You need that from Sam, or whatever that is. And we find it very important, and it pays back. It pays back very much. So we're very happy.
How many teachers do you have at the studio? Or
We go.
are they the same? Are they the same teachers that go to the schools, or?
We try and keep things as separate as possible, because I find it very important to be able to focus fully on something. We all work under the same umbrella of Music Mission, but we've got 11 people in the primary schools, and we got 4 plus me at the studio here.
What area do you cover? The schools. I mean, I'm in South London, so I'm trying to see what areas do you cover, like in London? What schools? What area? Is that all East London, or
We've
you go
got
everywhere?
a bit everywhere. We've got a few schools in Brixton. We've got a few schools here. Yeah, some in
Okay.
Harrow, West London, some in Kent. Once we find a teacher that fits nicely with Music Mission, then we try as much as possible to make their life as easy as possible and create a new job opportunity around that area, so they can travel less, be less stressed, be more proficient with their time, something that in London we all try to do.
Of
And
course.
if we had some happy teachers, they will probably,
Teach better.
be happier. Exactly. Teach better. No, be there nice and tired after an hour and a half of stressful public transport journey. Yeah.
So do they teach at their place, or do you? So if you've got one in Kent, for instance, is there a school? Is it in a school, or is it in their own facility, or how's that work?
They go to the primary schools in that area.
Yeah, both of my kids had at some point or another teachers in primary and secondary. And I have to say, it depends. I mean, when you get to a level of commitment, obviously they want to have separate teacher, they might want to have an hour lesson, all of that. But I think at the beginning, having it in the school during school time is perfect. It just couldn't be any better. It's just that the issue is obviously matching with the personality, which is that's something you really have cover, but it is really handy actually. And most schools just have different instruments, and most of them have drums, but it is amazing. It's a lovely thing that the schools can offer, I had to say. Yeah.
100%. We didn't have that back home in Italy, for example. and schools here are extremely welcoming with curriculum activities like this, for example. And as although we can't really change teacher because of personality and stuff, this is something that we do a little bit more in the studios, for example, when we can cater things a little bit more. But in the primary school, for example, now that we're starting to gain a few more schools and things are getting a little bit more of a slightly bigger operation, we finally implemented a new figure of a quality control manager, and we've got this angry Italian guy going and checking on each and every teacher in schools, see if he can help somehow, see if he can support with anything. So if we found, even looking at the market around in this industry, that if we manage to keep communication nice and clear with the parents, because they're trusting you with kids, they're trusting you with their kids. Come, let's let that sink in for a second. It is, it is our responsibility and it is our honor to be there and actually do our very best for it. And if you as a teacher are not managing to connect with a certain student, then as Music Mission, we've got that responsibility to call up the parents, be like, hey, this is what's happening. Is that a behavior that you guys can relate, that you see at home, or shall we try a different way? So the more you talk, the more you create a little bit of a teamwork with the school, with the parents, and with the student itself. I think it's like the holy trinity, right? A good student, a good teacher, and good support home.
Yeah.
Really good things can happen.
I mean, I think in general, just to hear you talking, and you sound like really passionate. I'm sure everyone that works with you are equally passionate. I mean, that is a winning formula for the case. It doesn't even have to match your personality that much, but just seeing you, I can tell, that.
It is a requirement.
Yeah.
You want to be part of Music Mission, you get a lot.
It's an amazing community. I mean, that's why we're here, and the reason we're doing the podcast is to take part in the community in some way, and connect with other people, and just I don't know. I just need it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
I'm very lucky because Matt is so well connected that I know everything that's happening. Like, everything that's happening, I know through Matt, and then I
I'm just
join
obsessed. I'm
half
obsessed.
of them. Like, I wish I could do all of them, but half of them, and it's really good fun, and it's such a great thing to be able to geek out. Just to geek out, you know what I mean? Anyone that's not drama could see our WhatsApp conversations would be like, oh my God, how
They
can
get
you
bored,
even
yeah.
bear that? But for us, it's so exciting. And
Lucky I
yeah.
have my son who's a drummer as well.
Oh yeah, you're different. I know.
And does his Ableton, and does his music and all that stuff as well. But yeah, we're very passionate about this, and it's really good to see or to find out about all these things going on, because there's so much going on, but you don't necessarily know about it. Now you've got 43.8 thousand followers on your
Yes, sir.
Instagram, which is at Andrea Drum Official, ANDREA Drum Official. That's a pretty decent amount that you've got there, and we'll come back to the education side as well. But some of the things that your videos that I see a lot of with people like Martina and other people that we saw at the Evans Room, they really can. I mean, I can't keep up, but they're very fun and inspiring. And there's loads of these lovely videos of you doing the pad work.
Yeah.
Do you have tips for people that get lost with those? Because I just my concentration, as you've already noticed, I just go off, and then this left, right, left. Also, and another question, which I shouldn't ask at the same time, is that you always do everything from right first, but is that hard for you because you're left-handed?
Thank you for noticing. Let's struggle with rails to make that happen.
Yeah, because that's a pain.
Yeah, 100%. So to answer to your first question, first of all, thank you so much. I believe that the little pads videos was literally me finally not trying to imitate anyone around and just come out with something that is me. You know, as we said earlier, I was forced on the pad for 9 months, so they must have left either some sort of trauma or like a little something that just carried on up to this level. But I used to find the pad work quite boring. And I find that to be a very, very common thing around a lot of drummers. Beginners, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't really matter. People like to practice on drums because they have a feedback from the drums itself. I find it essential, and probably just because this has been my way of learning so far, to isolate a pattern in one drums only, that gives me one sound only. So my DHD cannot play off in let's go here and there, let's have a little bit of fun, let's just stick to this. Hyperfocus comes in and boom, I absolutely love it. In terms of tip on how to maybe get onto it, I always like to pick one pattern and play it against the other patterns that I already know. Sorry. So say we're working on paradiddles and we know how to play single strokes, double strokes, paradiddles. Amazing. We're going to play the paradiddles as a home, and right after that we're going to go to single strokes. Back to home, paradiddles, and then double strokes, paradiddles, and then another round of paradiddles. And so it's always home plus another one, home plus another one, home plus another one. So I'm going to inevitably I'm going to play inevitably the transition into that new pattern and back from that pattern and back and forth with everything. The more we have, the more we add, but we could simply start from singles and doubles, singles and doubles, singles and doubles. And as we get a little bit more comfortable with any other pattern, we just add that into the routine. We've got about 15 patterns now down that I try with each and every student. We initially started from the Tommy Igo routine, which is gold.
I have heard about it. Yeah. It had the one that's called Hands for Life or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't have it or check it out. Just seen it many times, been tempted, but
All of a sudden, my business partner came back home with this massive poster and he was like, I think we should do that. I was like, I think we should. And we focused on that paradiddle, double paradiddle, triple paradiddle. We just got some singles and doubles before that. But here is the thing. Now we got over 150 PDFs right in front of me of each and every routine that we do. We like to send it to people on Instagram for them to practice. So the video is barely a demonstration of what that could eventually sound like, but here is your PDF. Bring it down to 60 BPM and off you go. Maybe just play the first line until you're really comfortable. We make it a strong point with our students here at the studio. We don't chase speed. We chase comfort. We chase form. We chase consistency in terms of volumes between right and left. We look at our hands, especially as we're playing on the pad. And recently, with those who got a little bit more comfortable with those patterns, we're finally orchestrating each and every pattern on drums, creating drum solo made of the same very pattern that we practice every day. You gotta show these people what they can do with it. Otherwise, it's like, why am I on the pad? What are we doing? What's the point? So if I show you 3 implementation of that same pattern, and then I give you a tip on how to create your own implementation, well, we just opened up a very, very important door, which is finally I can be a little bit more creative without listening to you, mate. You gave me a structure, and now I can. Wow, there's no right and wrong. I always ask, does he make you smile? Yeah, and that's good orchestration. End off. And some of them, they sound extremely nice. So sorry, I'm very I could talk about
no,
this.
I was gonna give you a compliment actually. I was gonna say that when I look at the Instagram videos, and I wasn't following you until recently, but I was following Martina. So sometimes you do it with Martina, and the one that's practiced with us. It is such a clear way, and you pick the right speed, so it's not too fast, and it seems doable, and everything looks so perfect and calm. I don't know, it made me want to practice. the way, the style that you have created for them, the right length, it's playing super clearly. You guys are both smiling. They look like you're both having a great time. I just love those videos, and I have tried them a couple of times. The other thing I have to say, when you mentioned the fact that you're going for clarity rather than speed, because usually what you see around is the opposite. It's just people showing you that's slow, and that's how you will get it. You do it a lot, and then you show it very fast. But one thing that I used to have a different pad, and until I got the Evans one. When I got the Evans, I was like, this is awful. That was absolutely awful because you're not listening to, the definition or anything like that. And the other thing, obviously, the Evans pad have a downside, which is quite loud. But I think it's necessary because otherwise you just listen this rubbery muffle up and you think you're a lot better. And then when you have to do it in a snare drum, I was like, I thought I could do that, but you couldn't. So yeah, that's my little.
We're very lucky to be supported by Evans and Promark, Yamaha, and indeed, we try and suggest those pads to each and every student, and it's
just standard, is it? Yeah, it is just standard. I mean, to be honest, there's not that many around like that. Are they? They're not that many around. I mean, there's the Evans one. There's
the attack. You're talking about the attack tile, aren't you?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Sorry, of course, there's millions.
The
white one.
Of course, there's a million of pads. I'm talking about that. Sorry, I should have. Everyone talk about the new Evans, which is not new anymore. It's probably a year old or more. But this is the one I was talking about. Yeah.
And to be honest, and you said about it being rubbish, you mean that you could hear yourself properly on the attack tile, which made you realize that you weren't doing it as well as you thought. A little bit like sometimes on an electronic kit with a mesh head, you can kind of get a bit of a false sense of security.
Exactly. A false sense of security. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
I always say to people in the shop that come in and the parents ask, is the mesh heads, the best thing to have, and is that what we need? And I'm like, do you know what? Yes, but because like all the really expensive ones are mesh, right? So you wouldn't spend £5,000 on a Roland mesh or on a Roland rubber, and you wouldn't do the same for a DTX Yamaha. But actually, I do explain to them that it is a little bit like power steering. Because it kind of does help you like power steering does, and to get it better, you probably to get it more true and to make you work a bit harder, maybe you should just loosen them, because everyone likes to tighten their heads on a mesh kit because it goes. But actually, if you have them a bit lower, then it's a little bit probably makes you work a bit better, more closely linked to a snare drum, to a miler head. But the attack tile, I don't own an attack tile. And yesterday I was passing, I had to just pop into Graham Russell and I saw them. I thought, shall I get it? But I've got enough points on my Evans player circle to also get one. I've got the real feel. Aurea knows I have got so many practice bags.
I have a lot of them too.
I've got all the minor ones, anything minor. This bad boy. I've got 3 of the little versions of these. I've got the marshmallow ones, 4, 6.
Have you seen the pizza one? I don't know who makes it, but there's one that looks like a pizza.
No.
And I need to get it. Skinny George.
I would eat it.
Exactly. Skinny George, this guy on Instagram. I don't know if you guys know him. He's fantastic, and his technique is just unreal. And he's got this massive pizza pad, basically, that looks like with tomatoes and mozzarella. As a good Italian, I need that in my studio. But I don't know who makes it. I'm still looking for it.
Even if you don't use it,
I'll let you know, you guys. We'll send one over as well.
So
Evans needs to make it.
I dare you to find me one that have a paella.
Let's talk about this off the show. Maybe we can come up with something, you guys. These are good ideas.
Because I'm so boring and British. What do I get? Like a roast dinner one? I know. I'll have a pie.
There you go.
Talking of inventions, I don't know whether this will ever work, But I always, when you're trying to inspire someone to that can only do it at this really slow speed, which is important to get it accurate and clean at that speed. And and then the teacher might go, "Doo," and they're like, I'm never going to get there. I'm never can do that. Never can do that. This is what my little invention, right? Or idea. So you record them playing at 60 or 50. And then without them knowing, you play back, you speed it up, pitch shift, time stretch it so it doesn't change the pitch. And you play it back and you say, do you think you could play that? And they'll say, never. And then you say, that is you. I think that would be really a big impact. That's me.
I think it would work. To be fair, I think it's sometimes the worst enemy that we have is ourselves.
100%.
Just being a little bit frightened or somehow discouraged by what that might look like in 6 months or 8 months. And I find that extremely important to with all the team here, for example, do make sure to show what that would look like. But before even playing, explain what you're about to do and why you're about to do it. Because otherwise it just comes as a slap right in your face and you're like, oh my God, this is impossible. No, if we work consistently, then we could get to this in like 3 months and then 6 months and then 9 months. And then we break it down to what it is on a daily basis. How do we make that happen? And, it's the usual things, but like, if we are 60 and you do it right 3 times in a row, let's go to 62, not even 65, trick your brain with small little things and 2 begins every day. You guys, in a year, we make some real damage, which is amazing,
Yeah. That's what Mike Johnson says as well, doesn't he? He says we're going up like 1 or 2, like not
1% in time.
Yeah. But I mean, as you say, it's not always about the speed, but it is certainly about getting something from it, and we all get different things from it. I mean, I go in there and I play, and if my back's hurting or I'm tired or I'm not in the right mood, then I'll just come out and think, oh, let's just sell everything and get on with grow up. Let's just grow up. I'm 53. I know I don't look it. It's obvious. But let's just grow up and just watch the television and not bother. But it's not there, and this is something that I've been doing since I was 16. And on and off, but started at 16. And yeah, you get back on the horse, or you have a good night's sleep, or you have, well, actually you don't, but and you have a better day, or for me, I hear a song. It's genuinely a song that will inspire me, or something like a conversation like this. Conversation like this could get me just to go straight in there and play. Maybe not this time of night. I have to go on the electric kit for that. But yeah, so you just, I think, to get inspired to take part and to just to have your own personal goals achieved, which might be, I just want to be able to play that song. I've always liked that song, and if I can play that song, then that that could lead to so much, so personal achievement and satisfaction. I think it's I love it. It's great. I'm not really making any sense.
I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense, and it's important to be aware of those days. When they come, especially if it's one of those days like the proper ones. You can really like start selling things or just chucking things outside, and it's, I think, as mentors to those to the younger community of students, either in school and here. This is something that we should mention even before it happens. Make them aware of the fact that it remind them somehow in these days, especially, that we're human, and some days are better than others. So some days we manage to some days we manage to reach certain speed, and probably the day after, for some weird reason, as you said, we might not be able to do it. And because they don't have that experience, or we don't have that, that understanding, it's important to remember that we're human, and because of the emotions, because of a day that has been lived or anything else, our hands, our mind might not work as much as well as yesterday. To me, drumming, I've got a week full of drumming between schools, studios, content creation. I went to see Martina last month in Berlin, and that's something that I'm hoping to do on a monthly basis. Pick a European country and go and find 4 or 5 drummers to obsess with some paradiddles for like 9 hours and come up with some sessions. And again, this is what, as you were saying, like the podcast and meeting new people, that sense of community, I live for that. And if I have a bad day
Yeah.
after 8 hours of teaching or whatever else might have happened during the day, my safe space is here. I'll go back. I'll put
100%.
backing tracks. I'll try and play along. What about me? It's still taking me ages from Snarky Fuckwit, and just a little something to get me right in my zone. And at some point, my mind will tell, yeah, we're good. Now you can go back home.
I think for us, it's from a different perspective because we both have, I mean, a lot of people we know in our community, they have day jobs. So this is a way for me to be me. It's not my job. I'm not a mother. I have this problem. I don't have any problems. The only problem is the one I made myself, which is, get really frustrated for not progressing quick enough and all of that. But it's just amazing. And I honestly, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have it, in my life, and also the community. I mean, I didn't have that before until maybe a couple of years ago, but I think a few of us met in the drum show. That's how I met a few of this group in person. But yeah, it's just amazing. It's both. It's what you say, find yourself and find those moments of joy, and also having a community.
Yeah. And funnily enough, the more you talk to people and connect with the community, the more you, what's the word here? The more you, I'm gonna say, the more you normalize somehow those little problems that you have.
Oh yeah.
We tend to feel so special as human being, as if I'm the only one experiencing this, or I'm the only one that on a Wednesday evening is not able to play because I worked 8 hours, and everybody else looks amazing on Instagram doing their things. We live in a world where I believe that the more we're present and the more we're aware of what's going on in our head, the more chances we have to stay true to ourselves, be real, and have a great time with the time that we've got available. Simple as that.
I talk about it on this podcast. My day job is kind of destroying me, and so without this is necessary. As much as it is fun, it is very necessary, and I'm doing everything I can to try to make that change. Which brings me on to my next point, which is about age. So certain people of certain age kind of get to that point, and they kind of think it's all about the young, and it's all about there's opportunities for younger people, and sometimes it doesn't feel like those opportunities are as available. Now, as a young person, you might not have the commitments that an older person might have, like mortgages and bills and things. So just to drop everything and walk away and do this full time, whatever this is, whether it's teaching. I mean, I wouldn't be good enough to be a teacher, but whether it would be teaching or whether it be working in sales or working for the brands or whatever it might be, or recording or whatever, it's very hard just to stop that. And one of the reasons I took my my Saturday job in the music shop was just to have to give me something back. I'm being paid not a lot because it's in the shop, but I'm being paid some money to talk to people about drums, and inspiring hopefully some new drummers as well, and helping parents make the decision about what kits they're going to buy for their kids, their first kits, whether it's an Alesis, a Roland, or whatever. And I get a little bit too into it, I think, and I I think I might give them too much information. It's probably very likely. But I really enjoy it. And when a drummer comes in and wants to buy acoustic kit or cymbals, I'm like, wow, this is really even more exciting, because it's sadly we don't sell vinyl. Um, uh, that'd be I mean, I would be all over it. But yeah, so
You'll be living in the streets if you have a vinyl in front of you every Saturday.
I wouldn't have a house left, because I would have bought all our cymbals. But
Yeah.
but basically, we do sell vinyl, but not the cymbals. But what I was trying to say is, the older generation. So for what you offer, obviously we talked about primary schools, but do you also, for people that are late starters or returners to the instrument, do you have, are your doors open for that demographic as well?
The primary schools, obviously, we go from like 6 years old to like 14 or whatever. And then the studios came about to offer the opportunity of continuation. So once you're done with school, if you want to take if you want to take this to the next level, let's say, let's start with that. And a good 70% of the students that we have in the two studios here, they're adults.
Right.
The adults, and we've got Andy coming in. It's like almost 70, I think. Never played drums before. Absolutely loves the idea of playing drums. He's obsessed with pad technique. I think that's my fault. And so we're going from open, close, and all that kind of stuff. We've got all kind of accountant, IT consultant. We've got a good variety of people there. And you know what? Lots of people, they don't come in because they want to be a drummer. They want to have an hour a week where they want to challenge their brain in a different way. There's a lady that comes in because she wants to have an hour off from her family, and so this is the only way. Just there's a student that comes in. She's on her 40s, and we basically talk for the good 75% of the lesson, because she likes the chat. It's music. And I absolutely love when someone reinvents themselves. Thinking about going to learn a new instrument and go myself somewhere else, it was extremely scary. But then after seeing all these people coming in and just like, hey, I just want to give it a try, that pushed me to go and take singing lessons finally, because I've always dreamt to be able to actually sing. So every Wednesday morning, I got my little time now, and I go to my teacher. And it's amazing. I feel like, sweaty hands and a little bit of anxiety. And I'm like, this is what they deal with. And once you put yourself into that shoes, that makes you a better teacher as well, a better person as well, because you can read the room. And so regardless of what we're doing, if I see you going a little bit, I'm going to give you 5 seconds break, and I'm not going to blame it on you being confused about it. I'm just going to go grab some water 1 second, and you can breathe for a second. So putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, especially with adults, I think it really helped. And yeah, so to answer to your question, yeah, we cater from very young to very well seasoned people, if you will, and yeah, we love it.
Yeah, I am a returner myself. I learned a little bit before having kids and all of that. I was never very good, maybe an advanced beginner kind of thing. But I used to be like that, like go to lessons, look for a bit of a chat, something interesting. And then it's nearly 3 years now that I came back, and I came back completely different. Like I am obsessed with progress and, wanting, and I had lessons as well. And I kind of almost like choose your own adventure in the lessons. Like I drive what I want to learn and stuff like that. But I wasn't like that before. So, yeah, we all go through different phases.
Exactly. It's different chapters, and there's nothing wrong with any of it. Forcing something like that in a specific moment might not be the right thing. Personally, I feel very strongly about this, and maybe because of my energy, maybe because of my loud way of just being, like almost all my students in my roster, they're going for it, and we know where we're going for. We know what we're doing. It's almost like a commitment to improve. I don't care if 1% or 10%, but every week I want to show you something different, an implementation of it, and I won't be able to do that if you don't do your work home. We got WhatsApp group where I test my students on a random day, be like, did you practice? Because that's 3 days left, bro. So like, we're gonna meet in 3 days and we're gonna make this happen. And you build a nice connection with them.
These conversations just really generate, really recharge me. And I think this is lovely, to be fair, meeting you. I got a lot of positive vibes from your videos, but obviously having a conversation like this, and obviously I saw you briefly in the UK drum show last year, but yeah, these conversations really, they was as inspiring as that song that makes you get up and want to play, because this is very, very important, and the sort of thing that we want on this podcast to for other people to listen and go, yeah, do you know what, I want to do that. So many people come into the shop and say, oh, my kids have moved out, I now want to buy a drum kit I used to play when I was young, and I want to play now. And I used to play in the 90s. Last time I played was probably 97 in live, in public, until last year. I started going to a jam and actually playing again, like jamming. I've been playing all the time in here, and I put videos up and in a controlled area, but I lost a lot of confidence from 97 or whenever, and just never played again publicly. So this new fourth or fifth midlife crisis, I'm not sure which one, I've lost count, but this kind of new energy, and I get energized by younger people, older people, whatever, it doesn't matter their age. But I came across Martina via the Zach Grooves connection when he had a video with her, and I bought her loop videos, loop tracks, Weird Fishes and Sunrise. No, that's one of the tracks, I can't remember. Sunrise
track. I was jamming with them. She sent them over a few days back, so I was like, all right, let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
Really cool hopes, yeah.
I've said this before. I probably told her when we interviewed her at Aurea and I at the UK show, but it was out of all, this young woman from Macedonia, North Macedonia, that I'd never heard of before, never met. Because of her, I went out and bought an EAD 10. I did buy the same color drum kit, bought the Yamaha custom hip, and I started putting videos up, which I never would do before. And it's because of her that I did that. And now since then I've put loads of videos of various quality. But then I joined Mike's lessons. I've met loads more people. I've started a podcast. And all this is like a reinvention, as you've talked about. It's kind of like another revisiting something that we just can't put down because it's there.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore it. It's useless. Don't resist. Just continue and get whatever you can out of this instrument and music in general, but out of this, instrument in general. So yeah, I'm very I'm buzzing. It's late at night now. I need to go probably to bed soon. I want to go and play.
I have an agreement with
We'll go to the kid in a second, all of us.
I have an agreement with the neighbor that I stop at 10, because even though that's electronic, still tap a bit. And so I have 17 minutes if I wanted to go now, but I'm not going to go.
Andrea, have you seen what she's done with that?
Yeah.
That V drums. She's had it recovered in a beautiful glitter. It's a glitter, isn't it?
It's pearl. I think it's pearl. Yeah.
It's a Delmar wrap or something.
Delmar wrap, but it's kind of pearly. How do you call it? So anyway, so I took it to what's his name again?
Gary Noonan.
Gary Noonan.
Yeah.
Lovely guy. And I just felt almost like you bringing a teddy bear to a bed. I was like, "Can you rewrap my teddy? Can you cure my teddy bear?" It's almost like it wasn't real, but he wasn't. He didn't think I was crazy. He was like, "Oh yeah. Some
No, he
people
told me. He
rewrap
told me
very good."
afterwards. He thought you were crazy. No.
Yeah.
He looks amazing, and you guys are making me think of. Sorry, he looks amazing, and you're making me think of when I started playing drums. I was 6, and the very first day was me sneaking into my dad's garage and playing on his drum kit, and I didn't think I was allowed to, and he actually got me straight away. I mean, I was like so little. And he opened up the door and I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, did I do something wrong? He was like, do you like it? My dad was obsessed with it. The day after, we sat down and we took his old drum kit and we rewrapped it together.
Oh,
So these are memories that we just, you'll never forget, you know, like so
what color? What color did you rewrap it in?
it was a sparkling blue, and then it was put on he was put with red stripes all around it, make it into a present, and there was it. My dad has been um, my biggest supporter from day one. He would drive me to lessons, remind me to practices every single day. Me with drums, my brother with dancing and singing, and we're both extremely lucky and blessed to work with our
Wow.
passion, and you know, we made a living out of it. So it's an honor, and it's extremely important to remember that, you know, because once again, there's a lot of people, you know, not be able to do that full time. And so we need to do it well in order to represent, you know,
Yeah.
what is that?
There's a lot of parents that they are quite scared of the arts. I mean, they know it's a tough industry for anyone to make a living in the art in general. And, you know, it is hard for some kids that they really have the passion. We definitely are not like that. And Matt is definitely not like that with his son. So we are not the example, but I see a lot of, you know, friends of my kids around that, you know, they're quite scared.
And this is where we step in as a figure in school or in the studio. Be like, I got you, and we're gonna get together.
But you also, I mean, it's very important to be cool. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but like in to get the attention of young people, you need to connect, like we said before. And if you come in and you're cool, and I mean, my son, he doesn't teach. He's a TA. He's like an assistant. He does like the breakfast clubs and the afternoon after school, and he does teach some drums at the primary school that he used to go to. And they all love him because he's really tall, he's young, he's got curly hair, he's cool, and they just love him. And like, I remembered certain teachers that I connected with, and we all remember the ones that put us off. So I think it's nice. It's important to connect. I don't think you have to be young. I think you can be old and cool, clearly. But I think, ciao. But I think I'm not old. I think that being like that connection, like we talked about before, connecting with people and inspiring people, and memories like your dad and rapping drums. I mean, I've rapped quite a few drums, and we did one with me and my son. We've got that. We'll never get rid of it. That was the one that we did together.
Of course.
And you know, we've done a few. He wants to rap another one that he's got in the loft. We've got a lot of drums lying around.
It's precious moment that you have with your family, you know, and these things no one can take away from you and your family members. So this will stay with me forever, you know, going to the lessons with him, coming back home and practice with him. Like, this is gold, and I hope one day to at least to be able to present this to maybe, you know, potential that, you know, future generation that might bring my surname as well. You know what I mean? It's exceptional, and regardless what the goal is, as you said earlier, we need to get the best out of it, because that feeling is very hard to find anywhere else. Whereas when you sit on your instrument and you're just you and yourself, regardless who's looking at you, regardless how many views, followers, or all that madness, you know, everyone used those things differently, and we just need to be quite careful not to get lost in them, because this is not real life. There's nothing social about it. If anything, the full opposite of it. So awareness of being present, and enjoy the actual nature of it, rather than, I mean, I found myself sometimes just like, video, try and record, stop playing, do it again and again and again, and now I'm sweating, and now I need to change my t-shirt, and I'm like, can you just sit and play drums, and when you're comfortable, then maybe we do a video? Like, switch the camera off, play drums, mate, have a little bit of a good time, and then if you get it right, maybe we can showcase it. Otherwise, tomorrow is a new day.
Yeah. But no, I think on the recording, I have the opposite experience. I never record myself. I hate looking at myself. I look at myself, I look at my phone. I'm only now starting to record, and obviously not for sharing, although I did share it with Matt and a couple of other friends. But because I think it's important to see yourself playing. That's how you really spot, what's wrong. And you can think about, it's a mix of feeling comfortable of where you are in this drumming journey. And obviously, you're not like the people using Instagram for sure, not me, obviously, but that, and also you can see progress and you can correct yourself. And I think it's important, but I found it really difficult. And now I'm trying to make myself doing it at least once every couple of weeks, a few songs or a few things I'm working on. So I'm at the other end. I don't record and don't post anything, but I think I need to,
Don't forget that amazing video you've got at Mike Johnson's studio of you playing.
I hate it. I hate how I look.
It's amazing. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. And it's
It's
you.
not true. It's not true. But I'm going in 2 weeks, so I am really hoping that the one this year is a little bit better. I was so terrified that I play quarter notes the whole song. I couldn't even do 8 notes. I was like, I can't do it.
Sometimes that's all you need.
I mean, I was like, I'd rather do that than kind of crash and burn. But yeah. So anyway,
But this lady gets on a plane and flies to California for drumming lessons, for a week with Mike. I mean, I haven't done that,
So I did it last year, and it was a present for myself, and it was such an amazing experience. I mean, obviously his camp is amazing. There's no denying of that, but it's the experience of being with 8 people that you never met before, and you're going through the whole week. There's ups and lows. There's moments of real struggle. You do it all of that together, and then obviously you get, play drums for a week, and there's no one knows your name, or your name obviously they end up knowing, but no one knows what you do for living, where you're from, anything. All you do is for the whole week meeting 7 strangers and talk drums and music.
I love that. Sounds like a dream.
You couldn't really, change that for a 5-star resort in Mauritius. I was no, for me, I mean, just send me to a week round camp like that. So I'm going this year again. I went last year to level 1. I have been brave enough to go to level 2, but yeah, let's see if I can afford it the following year. I'm not sure I can do that every year, but definitely after the first year, I thought I need to do it again and try level 2. But let's see. Getting really excited about it. I'm going in 8 days. Yeah.
It's amazing experiences. He brings again in a different way, but still there, like the old sense of community, the old sense of feeling
100%.
like part of something bigger, and normalizing the problems that we come across, and seeing other people struggling with the same things, and all of a sudden, instead of wanting to chuck everything out of the door, we just have a laugh together and we try again.
I mean, I did want to quit. I mean, I was there Sunday to Saturday, and Wednesday I nearly quit. And I think everyone goes through that, but different days. It's funny, we don't struggle at the same things. We all struggle equally, but at complete different things. That was incredible. But yeah, when you're there, there's low moments. I think they have to be, obviously. That's what you pay for, to grow together and to put you in the limit. But there was moments, And then obviously it was such a kind of an incredible experience that I could never forget the feelings I had in the plane coming back. Like even the movies I watch, I kind of like, oh my God, they're so amazing. It reminds me of the whole week I had in California. But anyway,
charging your battery for 6 months, having the inspiration to help you, having a structure, having something to look forward to, or simply having a clear idea that comes from outside your usual way, So very, very cool.
100%. It's my treat. It's my treat. Let's see. Let's see.
Well, I was
Let's
looking
see.
forward to hearing when you come
Yeah.
back how it's
How it
gone. I
compares.
mean, you'll probably send me text messages while you're there, as before.
Yes.
Like to
For
watch
sure.
the live shows. We have to stay up until about 2 o'clock in the morning to watch them. But I genuinely do when someone's there. When you're there,
You
I'll say.
shouldn't, but because I know now that we'll have a recording. But
I will.
this year, funnily enough, the time, the states or the day saving light timing have changed there and not here, so it's earlier. I think it's a better time. But anyway.
Yeah. So okay, let's to wrap this up then. What's happening next? So, are you going to the Europe drum show? Are you going to the
Yes,
UK?
sir.
You are.
Yes, sir. We're trying to be more present to events like this. After the UK drum show last year, we had a great time, but we created some priceless connections, and we need to be there. We need to be to each and every one of them because it's just out of this world. It's amazing. It's exactly what you just described about the drum camp within 2 days, and it's yeah. So we will be at the European Drum Show. We will be at the UK Drum Show. In terms of what comes next, we're trying to create a bit of a balance between teaching and performing. Every Monday evening, I'm having a bass player over and a new instrument to come on in every week. So organically, hopefully, we're gonna end up having 3-4 people working well together. And instead of hey, shall we make we're already here, and if we work well together, magic will happen, and we can make some music. Not strictly on the educational side of thing. On that side of thing, we're trying to get our students out of the studio as much as possible and get them to be involved in a jam session, in little shows that we do together with Yamaha Music London. The whole idea of actually being present and experience that little something extra by playing with a bass player or with a full band and be able to adapt straight away to what's happening, and so using your ear. I find that the ultimate experience for a student, and so we're trying to make that happen and slowly build a path towards that.
Absolutely. So to get out and to perform, like you were saying before, have a purpose, and why am I learning this? Well, you're learning this to do this, and then which leads to this. And as a parent of a kid doing grades and things, it's important to show why. Like, you need to know why you're doing it, and if you can see an end goal, or not an end goal, but just an opportunity. Well, if you do this, you could end up here, if you like that sort of thing, and it gives it some reason and direction as to what you're aiming for. There's no point in setting your sights and having no target, or having a scope with no target. That's a bit aggressive, I won't say that, but there's no point in having no target. You need to have a target. So I think that's great. So the London jams, the Yamaha London jams, are they going on at the moment?
We've done an event last year, our first music mission live, and it was strictly for kids.
Yeah.
This time around, we're trying to split it into 2 nights. We're going to have performances of the kids the first night, and on the second night, leave the primary school side of thing. Let's invite everyone from the studio, and there will be a live band. It'll take place in July. We haven't confirmed the details just yet, but we're both happy to make that happen, Yamaha and us. And I'm going to bring a band. I'm going to bring all drummers sitting around it, and I want drummers to jump in and out from that jam that is happening, and have a little bit of a structure with our band to know like where to go and where not to go, and hopefully get them to jump into it, Yeah.
Excellent. Is there anything that you want you to promote or talk about that we haven't talked about? Because I'm aware we've done what we normally do. We go off a little bit and go a bit just off the track, but that's fine. That's quite normal.
I think it's amazing. He it didn't feel like, question and answer, but it was a nice chat with some drummer fellows, so which is amazing. And again, I'm very happy to be here and thank you. In terms of promoting what we do and what we don't, it's we absolutely love what we do here at the studios, and we give a trial lesson for free to anyone who wants to give it a try, and you can book that on our website. Every Thursday evening at 7:30, I jump on Zoom just like that, just like this, and I practice on pad for a full hour. And usually all my students that are on that call, and everyone is welcome to it. It's free of charge. It's just again something to build a community together. So if you feel like doing some singles, doubles, and paradiddles with me, Thursday evening 7:30, we do that on a weekly basis. And this is it. This is us.
Well, that's brilliant. It's like I say, it's very energizing. It's very exciting. I do get really excited about this sort of thing. I'll just ask Ari, have you got any last questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I mean, all praise for you. I think what you're doing is amazing. I think you mentioned all the right words for me, like passion and community and making this accessible. And I love your energy. So the idea of, I'm sure your mission is going to grow. I think it will, and I look forward to meeting you maybe in the drum show or even earlier this
that'd be
year.
great.
I would love to. But
We can do one
and
of
I
those
think,
little pad routines together, guys.
yeah, definitely.
That scares me. That does scare
I'm
me.
gonna have to I'm gonna have to start looking at your. I'm gonna have to start practicing in Instagram, so I don't embarrass myself when I go that. But I will look at your old videos. But and then also I have loads of ideas of people that I'm gonna recommend it to.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Andrea. Just to remind people listening, it is on Instagram. Your page is at Andrea Drum Official, and your website is musicmission.co.uk. And any other socials? Are you on? No, that's those
Yeah.
two.
Music Mission page, that's at musicmission.uk. And if you wanted to book any of those free lesson, the website will be hwdrumstudio at musicmission.co.uk.
Brilliant. And we'll put all that stuff in the text for those that didn't
Appreciate that.
so they can read it as well and copy it. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. It's been marvelous. I'm so
Guys,
happy
thank you
that
so much for having me. It was such a great chat. Thank you so
much. Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye.